Welcome back. So now let's try to do a task of finishing mocking our response. So as I told, there is a method in Cypress which is called intercept. Okay. So this intercept have different type of syntaxes. Okay. So if you see their official documentation, if you scroll down, it support different type of parameters and different type of syntaxes. So one common syntax where it always comes as handy is a request object, response object. So here you have to pass the request what you want to intercept, and in the response object you want to give the response how you want to mock it. Okay, so let me show you. So in request object, basically it's nothing but it takes as an JSON format like this. For response also something like this. Okay, so two JSON, one request object JSON and another is response object JSON. Right. So in the request object, basically we should tell Cypress to have an eye on that particular request call, because once that request call is made, instead of giving actual response, we have to give our mock response, right? So how do you tell that to Cypress? So first you have to give the request on which you want to keep an eye for mocking. Okay, so this is a method is a get. So key value properties method colon is a get. You can check your network tab to get all these details. Okay, and the URL, and this is the URL this is getting called, right? So copy this. Okay, nice. So just these two details are enough for us to make a call. Now Cypress will not make this call. Cypress will just listen for this call to be made on the browser. Okay, it will keep an eye on it. Once this call is made on the browser, then Cypress will ask you, all right, I just came to know that this call is made, and let me know if I want to send the real response or do you want to mock it and send your own response. Okay, yes, in this scenario we want to mock it. So that mocked response you have to send in your response object. Okay, so you can pass different parameters here, that if you want to mock status code, you can give that. So right now let's give status code 200 only, which is same as the original one. The important thing is body. So this is what we want to mock, right? And if you wonder like how would I know that I can give method URL in request and status code body in the response, you can look at their official documentation. Request object properties, select this and you will see what all you can give in your request. So in our case we used method and URL. Similarly there will be response object properties, and here we are using status code body. If you want to mock headers, then you can give the headers or status message. Okay, right. Now so this is the actual response you are getting from that service call. I'll remove all the indexes here, and oh, I think I can't edit this. Let me take into one notepad and let's remove all of this. Oh, so many. Yeah, so I have only one data now. Right, this is our body. So don't disturb the body structure, because if it is not in the proper format, then you would see the error. So we are just removing the remaining indexes of this JSON, and let's pass that into our Cypress test and put them in quotes. Okay. Oh yeah, quotes not required for body level. Sorry. It looks for JSON response, so that's what we sent. Nice. Looks interesting. And if you observe what we have done now, so we have successfully intercepted the request call as Cypress is listening to it. Once this call is made, instead of sending a real response, Cypress will send this response. Okay. So ultimately, first parameter is the request parameter. Okay. And this second parameter is the response parameter. And we are closing that intercept method. We opened here and we are closing here. Okay, don't confuse between all these braces, because there are a lot of braces here which will make you confused. Or you can write everything in one single line, so that way you will at least. I'll cut and paste it here. Okay, nice. Now let's go and do actual automation. So we just gave the instructions and now Cypress will take care. Now you can go ahead and do a normal automation just like how you do for all other apps. So first you have to land on this web page. Okay. So let's start on the top, cy.visit, and this is our website. So once you land here, you want to click on this virtual library button, because on clicking that button only that service call is getting made. Okay, looks like we have class and this is unique. So I will go ahead and use this button class primary. cy.get. You can use CSS. Button is the tag name, class equals to, right. So on this button you want to make a click operation. Perfect. So once Cypress executes this click method, this browser will make this HTTP call. Immediately once browser make that call, Cypress will be notified here and it is ready to send this response. Okay. So all this intercept method, I will collect it into one reference variable dot as, so that you can refer that using this variable. Let's say book retrievals. Okay, so I'm just having that into one variable because you have to wait until Cypress intercepted your response. So like this you can do cy.wait and you have to wait until this reference is solved. Okay, basically this particular method will yield one result, and you can also say that it will yield one promise. That promise we are collecting into one variable, and here we are using wait method to tell that wait until this promise is resolved. That means this promise will be resolved after Cypress successfully sent mock data back to your browser. So if you don't provide this, then before giving the response back from the Cypress, your test will continue, and that will create a lot of confusion, because as the data is not rendered yet, your test will start failing. So we are explicitly making our test synchronous by waiting until this promise is resolved. Okay, so that happens only when you want to yield your result into one variable and wait that variable promise to get resolved with wait method. Okay, so after clicking this button, how does your application will behave? That you get a response, right? The response what you see here on, where is that postman? Yeah, this response have nicely made that into table format in Angular. But now what we did, we mocked it and we are sending only this one data. Okay, let's see how our page behaves now. I'll save this project. I'll open the Cypress runner. You see? Awesome. Your test already passed. You can rerun again if you want, but you can look at the results here and you see that message. Sorry, we have only one book available. How come? How come this is possible? Okay, let me run this test again so that you would see the output correctly this time. So it's as usual going to that web page just like how we have done in our normal loading, and you see it is not giving us this data. So that's the beauty of Cypress, and this is what I want to show you. See, and when you click this link, ideally all this should come, right? But see, Cypress is showing only one data because you mocked that response. How come that became possible? Because your Cypress is very keen and it's keep on listening to your all network request. Immediately when it encounters this, because we told intercept this, immediately when it encounters this, it stopped the response given by this URL and instead it gave its own body response. That response being rendered to the network, because your browser is just relying on this API response to show the data. As you have tweaked the data, browser don't know all that, right? It just uses the data what it gives. So Cypress tweaked it and gave the new response back, and with that response it rendered on the page. As you have sent only one, you can see only one data, and now you got this message. So your test will never fail. Okay, now you cannot complain that data dependency here, data is dynamic, that it might not work tomorrow if you see more records. Okay, so now right click inspect directly on this and you would see that locator anchor P. Okay, tag is P, right? So you can put a validation now nicely that cy dot get P. So we should verify the text there, right? So I should have dot text. So that text what we want here. Okay, sorry, we have only one book available. All right, so I'm running it again. You see, assertion passed. So that's the beauty of mocking your responses, and you can test any scenario what you have in your application. So if you are using Selenium and if you have such test cases in your project, just do a POC using Cypress. Talk to your dev team like what our request response call is happening on this page, and scan those results and try to mimic the behavior of your response and see if you are able to get the message like this. All right. So this is one scenario, and in the next lecture we will talk more about how to mock request instead of responses and how to perform integration testing. Thank you.